20 lucky last names that will completely change your life. This month, Buddhist teachings. Have you ever stopped to consider the hidden power behind your last name? Could it be that your family name holds the key to unlocking doors you never imagined, bringing you prosperity, growth, and transformation? On this special episode of The Journey of Wisdom, we'll uncover 20 extraordinary surnames believed to carry a powerful energy that can change the course of your life, right here, right now. Rooted in ancient Buddhist teachings and spiritual wisdom passed down through generations, these names are thought to resonate with a unique frequency, one that draws in good fortune, new opportunities, and a deeper connection to your true self. Whether you're seeking financial success, personal breakthroughs, or unexpected blessings, these last names may just be the catalyst you need to set your life on a completely new path this month. Stay with us as we dive deep into the mystical significance of these 20 lucky last names and explore how their vibrations might influence your life in profound ways. Could your last name be among the ones destined to bring extraordinary change? Let's find out together. 1. Smith. Crafting your destiny through mindful actions. Smith, one of the most widely recognized surnames, carries a legacy that transcends generations. It symbolizes craftsmanship, creation, and the ability to shape the world around us. In Buddhist philosophy, this concept aligns closely with the idea that each individual is the architect of their own destiny, forging their path through mindful actions. Just as a blacksmith hammers out metal to create something new, we too mold our lives through the choices we make, whether they are big or small. The Buddha taught, "What we think, we become," which serves as a powerful reminder that our thoughts and actions are the tools with which we shape our reality. The name Smith, in its essence, encourages us to approach life with intention, knowing that each moment is an opportunity to refine ourselves, to craft a future that reflects our highest potential. In modern life, where distractions are abundant, it's easy to forget that we hold the power to influence our own outcomes. However, by embracing the mindset of a smith, constantly working to improve, refine, and sharpen our character, we can build a life that is rich in purpose and fulfillment. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to feel as if we are simply reacting to the circumstances around us, much like a piece of unshaped metal at the mercy of a forge. But Buddhist teachings remind us that we are not passive in this process. The Dhammapada says, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This suggests that we, like the smith, have the ability to take control of our circumstances by shaping our thoughts and actions with mindful awareness. Imagine for a moment that life is a continuous process of creation, just as a smith turns raw materials into something beautiful and functional. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to strengthen our inner resolve, to temper our character, and to create a life that is aligned with our true purpose. In this way, the name Smith is more than just a surname. It is a reminder of our innate ability to create, to transform, and to manifest the life we desire. Many of us may feel trapped by circumstances, whether they be related to work, relationships, or personal struggles. However, the wisdom of the smith tells us that no matter where we find ourselves, we have the power to reshape our destiny. It requires patience, effort, and above all, mindfulness. Just as a craftsman spends years honing his skills, we too must be willing to invest time and energy into developing our inner world, trusting that our efforts will eventually lead to mastery. In today's society, where instant gratification is often sought, the discipline of the smith teaches us that true success is not achieved overnight, but through consistent, mindful work on ourselves. The Buddha said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This timeless wisdom reminds us that we are constantly shaping our lives, moment by moment, and that we can choose to be the smiths of our own destiny. By aligning our actions with our values and remaining focused on the long term, we can create a life that not only serves our own well-being, but contributes to the greater good of all. In conclusion, the name Smith carries profound significance, resonating with the Buddhist principles of mindfulness, creation, and personal responsibility. It is a name that calls us to be the creators of our own destiny, to take full ownership of our lives, and to engage in the process of constant self-improvement. Whether we are faced with obstacles or opportunities, the teachings of the Smith remind us that we have the ability to transform our circumstances into something meaningful. As we move forward in life, let us remember the words of the Buddha: "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." Like the Smith, we must take up our tools, our thoughts, actions, and intentions, and use them to create a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. 2. Harris. The strength of resilience and persistence. Harris is a last name that radiates strength and resilience, and if you bear it or are connected to it, it's a reminder of the inner power you already possess. This month, Harris could be the key to unlocking that hidden potential within you, guiding you through challenges with an unshakable spirit. Just as a river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence, Harris teaches us that real strength comes from resilience, being able to endure and grow through adversity. Think of it like the bamboo plant, deeply rooted and flexible, bending with the wind, but never breaking. Have you ever faced a storm in your life where you felt like everything was working against you, yet somehow you found a way to rise above it? That is the essence of resilience that Harris signifies. The ability to face the storm, not with fear, but with a sense of certainty that, in time, you will come out stronger. To connect this lesson with Buddhist teachings, let me share with you a beautiful story. Once the Buddha told his disciples the story of a wise man who lived in a village prone to floods. While others would panic and scramble to higher ground whenever the rains came, this man stayed calm. He had prepared for the floods by building his house on stilts, ensuring that no matter how high the waters rose, his home would stand tall and undisturbed. When asked why he was not worried like the others, he simply replied, "I trust the nature of things. Floods come and floods go, but I have built my foundation on solid ground, so I have no fear." The lesson here is clear. It's not about avoiding life's storms, but building the resilience to withstand them. Similarly, Harris invites you to build that foundation within yourself, to prepare for life's inevitable challenges by cultivating a strong heart and a steady mind. Have you ever thought about what it means to be truly resilient? Is it simply about surviving, or is it about thriving despite the difficulties? When we embrace the name Harris, we are called to not only face obstacles, but to grow through them. In Buddhism, the concept of dukkha, or suffering, is central. Life will bring pain, hardship, and disappointment, but it is through these experiences that we find the opportunity to practice resilience. Just as the Buddha taught, suffering is not something to run from. Instead, it is a teacher that helps us grow wiser and stronger. The next time you face a difficulty, remember this: the real strength is not in avoiding pain, but in how you respond to it. Will you let it break you, or will you allow it to shape you into a more resilient version of yourself? Take a moment to reflect. What are the challenges you're currently facing in your life? How can you approach them with the spirit of Harris, strong, resilient, and unwavering? This is where the true power of the name lies. It's not just a name, It's a call to action, urging you to rise above your circumstances with a heart full of courage and a mind rooted in wisdom. As you move through this month, carrying the strength of Harris with you, remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. And just like the wise man in the Buddha's story, when the waters rise, you too will stand tall, grounded in the strength that Harris represents. So, the message here is simple. Resilience is your greatest strength. Challenges are inevitable, but how you respond to them defines your path. Are you ready to embrace your inner Harris, to let this name be a symbol of your unwavering spirit? This month, let Harris inspire you to face whatever comes your way with courage, knowing that with every challenge, you are being shaped into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. The lesson is clear. True strength lies not in avoiding the storms of life, but in learning how to weather them with grace, wisdom, and resilience. 3. Johnson, the power of family and interconnectedness. The surname Johnson carries a deep sense of lineage, reflecting the bonds of family and tradition. This notion of family ties is beautifully aligned with the Buddhist teaching of dependent origination, which reveals that all things arise in dependence upon multiple causes and conditions. Just as no person is an island, we are all interconnected, shaping and being shaped by those around us. To bear the name Johnson is not just to belong to a family, but also to recognize the vast web of connections that define our lives. In Buddhist practice, this understanding encourages mindfulness in how we treat others, fostering compassion and kindness in all relationships. By being fully present in your interactions, you nurture these connections, creating harmony and fostering a sense of unity. As Thich Nhat Hanh once said, compassion is a verb, reminding us that through our actions, we can alleviate the suffering of others and bring peace to our surroundings. In modern life, where distractions often pull us away from meaningful engagement, adopting this practice can transform your relationships. Whether in your family, at work, or in your community, by focusing on positive interactions, you not only uplift others, but also set a foundation for personal growth and prosperity. The name Johnson, in this sense, can be seen as a reminder of your responsibility to contribute positively to the collective well-being. When you honor this connection with sincerity, you will find that it returns tenfold, creating a ripple effect that benefits not just you, but everyone around you. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by stress and conflict, adopting a mindful approach can lead to a life of peace, prosperity, and fulfillment, both for yourself and for those whose lives you touch. How do you feel about the idea that family connections, like those represented by the name Johnson, can create a ripple effect of positivity and harmony in your life? Comment yes if you believe in the power of interconnectedness, or comment number 1 if you want to explore more about how family ties can shape personal growth. 4. Taylor, embrace transformation and growth. The last name, Taylor, is closely associated with transformation, symbolizing a powerful shift in both personal and professional aspects of life. This month, you can anticipate significant changes that may alter the course of your journey. In Buddhist philosophy, transformation is a key aspect of growth, reminding us of the ever-changing nature of life, known as anicca, or impermanence. When we embrace change, we align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. As the Buddha wisely said, nothing is permanent. Everything is subject to change. Being is always becoming. This idea emphasizes that transformation, like the unfolding of a lotus flower from muddy waters, is an opportunity for rebirth and renewal. In modern life, many of us resist change, clinging to familiar patterns out of fear or comfort. However, as the last name Taylor suggests, this month offers a chance to break free from stagnation, to step forward with courage and embrace new opportunities that will lead to growth. For those in the working world, this could mean a promotion, a new job, or an unexpected project that challenges you in ways you didn't anticipate. Professionally, transformation often comes disguised as a challenge, but when approached with a flexible mindset, these challenges become stepping stones towards success. In personal life, the change might manifest in the form of new relationships, a shift in family dynamics, or a realization that it's time to focus more on personal well-being and self-improvement. Just as a skilled tailor adjusts and refines a garment until it fits perfectly, you too have the ability to tailor your life to better suit your needs and goals. Keep in mind that transformation is not just about external circumstances, it's deeply tied to your inner world. Shifting your mindset, letting go of limiting beliefs, and adopting healthier habits can be just as impactful as external changes. One important Buddhist teaching to remember during times of transformation is the importance of mindfulness. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "The present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all moments." By being fully present and aware of the changes unfolding around you, you allow yourself to navigate them with clarity and calm. Often, we become overwhelmed by the fear of the unknown, but with mindfulness, we can remain anchored in the present, trusting that the future will unfold as it should. Transformation can be daunting, but it's essential to recognize that growth often requires us to step out of our comfort zones and into uncertainty. As you prepare for this month of transformation, whether you're dealing with changes in your career, personal life, or mindset, remember that these shifts are opportunities to align more closely with your true self. Instead of fearing change, welcome it as a chance to evolve and grow. The most successful transformations are those in which we remain open, adaptable, and mindful. As Lao Tzu said, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, that only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like." In essence, by embracing the transformative energy signified by the last name Taylor, you not only invite new opportunities into your life, but also open the door to becoming a more authentic and fulfilled version of yourself. Change is inevitable, but with the right mindset, it can lead to extraordinary growth and happiness. 5. Anderson, finding freedom through letting go. Let's talk about the last name Anderson, a name rooted in strength, independence, and the spirit of freedom. Imagine carrying the legacy of freedom within your very name, like a call to break free from the chains that hold you back. Whether it's a situation at work, a personal limitation, or a relationship that feels restrictive, the energy of Anderson can inspire you to take that bold step toward liberation. In Buddhism, we often speak of the concept of non-attachment, freedom from the desires, expectations, or outcomes that bind us in suffering. The Buddha taught that true liberation doesn't come from external circumstances, but from within, by releasing our attachment to material things and even to our own identities. Could it be that the last name Anderson is a reminder for you to seek that kind of freedom this month? Ask yourself, in what areas of my life am I craving independence, but I'm still holding on too tightly? Where am I not allowing myself to experience the true joy of freedom? The last name Anderson could serve as your reminder to let go of whatever's keeping you tethered. You might feel it's your job, a relationship, or even your thoughts that create a sense of confinement. Anderson whispers to you that the key to freedom might not be as far off as you think. Just as in the Buddhist story of the monk and the tiger, there's wisdom in letting go. In the story, a monk is running from a hungry tiger, and he reaches a cliff with no way out. He grabs hold of a vine, hanging there between the tiger above and the dangerous fall below. As he hangs there, he notices a strawberry growing nearby. Instead of focusing on his imminent danger, he reaches out and enjoys the strawberry, savoring it fully. The story reminds us that freedom isn't always about escaping danger or adversity. It's about finding peace in the present moment, no matter the circumstances. The last name Anderson encourages you to taste the sweetness of life in those moments when everything feels too much. Maybe freedom is simply about shifting your perspective. So, how can you apply the lesson of Anderson and the monk this month? Where in your life are you running from a metaphorical tiger? Maybe it's the constant worry about future outcomes or fear of what others might think. Perhaps it's the weight of past decisions that still haunt you. Think about it. What would happen if you simply stopped, reached for the sweetness of the present moment, and let go of the chase? Anderson invites you to embrace that freedom now, not later. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to break free, realize that liberation starts from within, the moment you decide to release what's holding you back. As you move through this month, carry the essence of Anderson with you. Let it inspire you to examine where you feel bound and how you can liberate yourself. Don't look for your freedom in the outside world. Find it in your ability to accept, release, and live fully in each moment. Ask yourself, what am I willing to release today to feel free? Maybe it's a thought, a habit, or a fear that's been holding you down. The true lesson is this: freedom doesn't come from the absence of problems or challenges, but from your ability to rise above them. Take that step toward inner liberation and see how the last name Anderson and its spirit of independence can transform your life. 6. Williams, strength and patience in life's challenges. The surname Williams holds a rich meaning, symbolizing both strength and patience, qualities deeply aligned with the teachings of Buddhism. In our lives, there are times when we face challenges that test our resilience, and Buddhism teaches us that to overcome such obstacles, we must cultivate patience and maintain an unwavering sense of compassion. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you feel like giving up, where the burden seems too heavy to carry? If you bear the name Williams, or even if you resonate with its meaning, this could be a reminder that you possess the strength to endure and to find peace amidst the struggles. Just as the Buddha endured years of hardship before attaining enlightenment, we too are asked to walk our path with patience, accepting life's difficulties as opportunities for growth. In Buddhism, patience is considered one of the key virtues known as kshanti, which is essential in cultivating inner peace and wisdom. There's a famous quote by the Buddha that says, "Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes." This speaks to the idea that patience isn't passive, it's an active engagement with life's trials. Every time you choose patience over frustration, compassion over anger, you are moving closer to the kind of inner peace that can lead to true enlightenment. Do you see how this reflects in your own life? Whether your name is Williams or not, we all face moments where patience is tested. But what if those moments were actually guiding you toward becoming a stronger, more compassionate version of yourself? Consider how this name, with its connotations of strength and patience, can inspire you in your day-to-day life. How can you apply these virtues when faced with difficult situations? Perhaps you've experienced setbacks at work, in relationships, or with your personal goals. Instead of viewing these challenges as barriers, imagine viewing them as stepping stones that help you grow. just like a lotus flower that grows in muddy water to bloom into something beautiful. The Buddha also said, "A jug fills drop by drop," which reminds us that progress, no matter how slow, leads us forward. Even in the most frustrating of times, every small act of patience, every decision to keep going, brings you closer to your goals. Williams as a surname may also remind us of the importance of enduring hardship, not just for ourselves, but also for others. The concept of karuna, or compassion, is central to Buddhism, and it teaches us that our strength is not just for personal survival, but to help alleviate the suffering of others. Have you ever thought about how your own patience and resilience can inspire those around you? When you face adversity with strength and patience, you set an example, offering hope to others who may be struggling with their own burdens. In this way, the meaning behind Williams becomes much more than just a name. It becomes a way of living that enriches both your life and the lives of those around you. So, if you carry the name Williams, or even if you don't, what steps can you take to embody the strength and patience that this name represents? Are there areas in your life where you could be more patient, more compassionate, or perhaps more resilient in the face of hardship? These are the qualities that can lead not just to personal success, but to a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment, aligning your actions with the path toward enlightenment. The journey may not always be easy, but remember, as the Buddha wisely said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Your path is yours to walk, and with patience and strength, you can overcome any challenge that stands in your way. If you've watched this far, you're already embracing the power of these lucky last names and how they can bring positive change to your life this month. Comment below with "Lucky Path" to affirm your belief in these transformative teachings. Don't leave just yet. There's still so much wisdom to uncover. Stay until the end to fully unlock the potential these names hold for a brighter, more prosperous future. 7. Jones, the power of community and connection. The surname Jones carries a profound connection to community, much like the Buddhist concept of the Sangha, the spiritual community that supports one another on the path to enlightenment. In Buddhism, the Sangha plays a crucial role, reminding us that the journey to inner peace and wisdom is not a solitary one. This resonates deeply with modern life, where many of us find ourselves seeking a sense of belonging in an increasingly isolated world. The surname Jones, often associated with commonality and shared experiences, can be a powerful reminder that we thrive when we support and uplift one another. As the Buddha said, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. This quote speaks to the importance of community, emphasizing that when we share our strength, wisdom, and joy, we are not diminished, but enriched. In today's society, the concept of community is often diluted by the busyness of life and the focus on individual success. However, as Jones suggests, it is in togetherness that we find true strength. When you embrace this surname and what it represents, you acknowledge that no man is an island. We need the encouragement, support, and camaraderie of others to reach our fullest potential. This mirrors the teachings of the Sangha in Buddhism, where practitioners rely on each other to stay on the path, reminding one another of the teachings of the Buddha when times get hard or when the way forward seems unclear. Whether in the workplace, among friends, or within your family, having the attitude of Jones means understanding the value of relationships built on trust, mutual respect, and shared goals. Incorporating this mindset into your daily life could be as simple as making more time for the people around you, offering a helping hand when you see someone struggling, or simply being more present in your interactions. Just as the Buddha taught, we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. Adopting a mindset of community and connection transforms not only your relationships but also your inner self. You begin to realize that personal growth is deeply intertwined with how you interact with others. When we foster a sense of unity and belonging, we align ourselves with one of life's greatest truths. We are all interconnected. Our happiness, success, and peace of mind are inextricably linked to the well-being of those around us. This is particularly important for men between the ages of 30 and 65, a time in life when many are grappling with significant responsibilities, personal challenges, and the need to balance career, family, and self-development. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you have to carry all of life's burdens on your own shoulders. But as the surname Jones and the teachings of the Sangha suggest, the key to handling these pressures lies not in isolation, but in community. Seeking help, sharing experiences, and offering support is not a sign of weakness, but a pathway to growth and enlightenment. As the Dalai Lama wisely stated, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. This ties back to the idea that when we engage with our communities in meaningful ways, we contribute to the survival and flourishing of humanity as a whole. In modern life, where competition and self-sufficiency are often prized, remembering the essence of Jones can help restore balance. Instead of viewing life as a solitary quest for achievement, this surname reminds us to take a step back, to see the broader picture, and to appreciate the role that others play in our journey. It invites you to shift from a mindset of scarcity, where every success is viewed as personal and isolated, to one of abundance, where the success and well-being of others only enhances your own life. This is the way of the Sangha, and it is a timeless truth. We rise by lifting others. By embracing the spirit of Jones, you can make a conscious effort to build and nurture the communities around you. Whether it's at work, within your family, or among friends, take the opportunity to foster a sense of belonging, to uplift others, and to walk the path together. In doing so, you will find that life becomes richer, more meaningful, and ultimately more fulfilling. By opening your heart to those around you, you will not only change your own life, but also profoundly impact the lives of others, creating a ripple effect of compassion and connection that can indeed change the world. 8. Brown. Grounded in simplicity and humility. Brown is a surname that evokes a deep connection to the earth, representing stability, warmth, and humility. In Buddhist teachings, the earth is often seen as a symbol of grounding and simplicity, qualities that help us center ourselves in a world full of distractions and desires. The color brown, like the soil, is unpretentious yet essential, much like the virtues of humility and simplicity in life. When we think about simplicity in Buddhism, we are reminded of one of the key teachings of the Buddha, which is to reduce our attachment to material things. Greed and attachment are considered major sources of suffering because they make us cling to things that are impermanent. But when we live simply, as the earth supports life without needing to shine or stand out, we free ourselves from the burden of these desires, allowing peace to take root within us. The surname Brown serves as a gentle reminder that you don't need more than what is necessary to live a fulfilling life. It teaches you to be content with less, to focus on what truly matters, like kindness, sincerity, and a peaceful mind. Just as the earth sustains all life without craving attention or recognition, those who embrace simplicity, like the earth, find strength in humility. Carrying the surname Brown can be a meaningful prompt in your daily life to strip away unnecessary complexities and live with a pure heart. Think about it. What are the things in your life that create stress or dissatisfaction because of attachment? Could letting go of certain desires lead you to a more peaceful state of mind? There's a famous Buddhist story that aligns with this wisdom. Once, a wealthy man approached the Buddha and asked how he could find happiness. The Buddha, noticing the man's attachment to his wealth, simply said, "If you let go of what you do not need, you will find what you are looking for." The man didn't understand at first. He thought happiness came from having more, not less. But after reflecting on the Buddha's words, he realized that his wealth had brought him constant worry, fear of losing it, desire for more, and the burden of protecting it. Only when he began to give away what he didn't need did he experience the peace that comes from living simply, free of attachment. If you carry the surname Brown or connect with its symbolism, it's an invitation to simplify your life, to live with sincerity, and to find happiness in the everyday moments, rather than in chasing after the next thing. This lesson is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. The less we are tied to the fleeting and impermanent, the more room we make for lasting joy and inner peace. So, ask yourself, what can you let go of today? Whether it's material possessions, old grudges, or unnecessary worries, releasing what no longer serves you is a step toward a life of true contentment. As you embrace this teaching, remember that living simply doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means choosing to focus on what brings you lasting happiness rather than temporary satisfaction. In the end, the message is clear. Simplicity, much like the color brown and the grounding nature of the earth, helps us return to our true selves. And in doing so, we find a deeper, more enduring peace. What are the small steps you can take today to simplify your life and deepen your connection to peace and contentment? By focusing on sincerity, humility, and simplicity, you will discover the richness of life without the need for excess. 9. Davis, responsibility and mindful action. Let's take a moment to reflect on the surname Davis and how it carries deep meaning when we look at it through the lens of Buddhist teachings. In life, surnames often carry more significance than we initially realize, and Davis is no exception. Think about this for a moment. What does it mean to live with responsibility? How does the name we carry influence the way we move through the world? The surname Davis can be associated with action and responsibility, two concepts deeply intertwined with Buddhist philosophy. One of the Noble Eightfold Path's key elements is right action, which is the practice of acting with mindfulness, compassion, and awareness of how our actions affect the world around us. As the Buddha taught, what you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. This quote reminds us that our actions are not isolated. They ripple through the lives of others, creating both positive and negative impacts depending on the intentions behind them. When we think of carrying a surname like Davis, it can be seen as a constant reminder that every choice we make holds the power to shape our destiny and the lives of those around us. Have you ever thought about how your actions, even the smallest ones, contribute to the greater whole? In Buddhism, the principle of karma speaks directly to this idea, the cause and effect relationship between our actions and the consequences they bring. Every good deed, every kind word, and even every compassionate thought contributes to our store of positive karma, bringing more peace and joy not only to ourselves but to others as well. Conversely, harmful actions, whether driven by anger, ignorance, or selfishness, lead to negative karma, perpetuating suffering. So, carrying the surname Davis could serve as a gentle nudge, a reminder to live with mindfulness and responsibility, making choices that uplift rather than harm. Living responsibly is not just about avoiding harm, but also about actively doing good. Think about the people in your life. How do your actions influence them? Do they inspire growth, happiness, and peace, or do they cause stress and conflict? This is where the teachings of the Buddha become incredibly practical. He said, "Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think." Every action begins as a thought, and through mindfulness, we can learn to choose actions that align with kindness, integrity, and wisdom. So, what kind of energy do you want to bring into the world? How do you want your actions to be remembered by others? A surname like Davis, when viewed as a symbol of responsibility and action, invites you to reflect on how you can bring more awareness into your daily life. It encourages you to see every choice, no matter how small, as an opportunity to generate good karma, to live in harmony with the world around you. So, as you go through your daily life, whether you bear the name Davis or any other, think about the legacy of your actions. How do they reflect your values? Are they contributing to a world of peace and understanding, or are they creating unnecessary conflict? Life offers us countless moments to make mindful choices, and with each responsible action, we move a step closer to personal peace and collective harmony. So, I ask you, how will you choose to act today? What will your name stand for? 10. Miller, nurturing wisdom through patience. The surname Miller is deeply connected to the image of farming or milling, professions that involve nurturing, patience, and care. In the context of Buddhism, this can symbolize the nurturing of one's inner self and the cultivation of wisdom. Just as a miller carefully tends to the grain, transforming it through a slow and deliberate process, we too can focus on nurturing our minds and bodies. In Buddhist teachings, the act of cultivating the mind is seen as one of the most important tasks in life, akin to the patient work of a farmer sowing seeds. This process requires mindfulness, effort, and the ability to stay grounded in the present moment. As the Buddha once said, "Just as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame." This quote reminds us that true inner peace, much like the work of a miller, is not achieved quickly, but through steady, mindful practice. For those with the surname Miller, you might reflect on how this name can serve as a metaphor for your own journey. Just as a miller grinds wheat to produce flour, you are tasked with refining your own character and cultivating a peaceful heart through meditation and mindfulness. Meditation, in particular, can be seen as the grinding process for the mind, slowly but surely removing the husks of ignorance and distraction, leaving behind the fine flour of clarity and insight. Similarly, in daily life, we must take the time to cultivate virtues like patience, compassion, and understanding. These are the crops we plant in the field of life, and just as a farmer waits for the harvest, we too must give our efforts time to bear fruit. In our modern, fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant demands of life. However, like a miller who must tend carefully to his work, we can learn to approach life with the same mindfulness. In Buddhism, the concept of right effort teaches us that while it's important to work diligently, we must also know how to work wisely, balancing our energy and not allowing ourselves to be drained by unnecessary distractions. It's not about rushing to complete tasks, but rather about focusing on what truly matters and ensuring that our actions are aligned with our values. As the saying goes, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. Bearing this in mind, those who carry the name Miller might take inspiration from this, ensuring that they nurture positive, healthy thoughts and habits in their lives. In practical terms, this means taking time each day to engage in practices that promote mental and physical well-being. Whether it's through meditation, yoga, or simply spending time in nature, nurturing your inner life is essential. By doing so, you are like the miller grinding wheat, patiently transforming raw material into something nourishing. And just as the miller's work sustains the community, your inner work benefits not only you, but those around you. By cultivating a peaceful, grounded presence, you offer a sense of calm and stability to others. As the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This is a reminder that the path to a fulfilling and happy life lies not in external circumstances, but in how we nurture our own minds and hearts. Ultimately, if you bear the surname Miller, let it remind you of the importance of being a steward, not only of your external responsibilities, but also of your inner life. Much like the miller who takes raw grain and creates something valuable, you have the power to transform your experiences and thoughts into wisdom, compassion, and peace. In this way, the name Miller can serve as a guiding principle for how to live your life with mindfulness, patience, and care, ensuring that you harvest the fruits of a peaceful and meaningful existence. You've made it this far, which means you're already tapping into the incredible potential of these lucky last names. Comment below with "Blessed Journey" to declare your commitment to the positive changes heading your way. Stick around, there's still valuable wisdom ahead that could completely shift your perspective this month. 11. Wilson, the strength of willpower and determination. Wilson, a surname that signifies son of will, reminding us of the immense power of willpower in shaping our lives. Willpower is not just an inherent trait, it's a skill that can be cultivated, nurtured, and strengthened over time. In Buddhism, the concept of willpower goes far beyond simply pushing through obstacles. It is the steady flame that fuels our determination to stay on the path of virtue, mindfulness, and awakening. Strong will is what enables us to overcome the distractions, bad habits, and ignorance that cloud our true nature. When we think of willpower in this sense, it becomes a force that empowers us to face the suffering of life with courage and equanimity, helping us rise above the traps of craving and attachment. There's a Buddhist parable about a monk who lived in a small village and was known for his iron will and determination. Every morning before dawn, he would climb a steep mountain near his monastery to meditate at the top. This daily practice seemed impossible to most of the villagers, who marveled at his unwavering commitment. One day, a villager asked him, "How do you find the will to climb this mountain every day? Aren't you ever tired or discouraged?" The monk replied, "I see the mountain as no different from my mind. Each day I climb, I conquer a little more of the ignorance, fear, and desire that keep me from peace. The strength is not in my legs, but in my will." This story illustrates how strong will, when aligned with wisdom, can lead us to transcend even the most difficult challenges. Now, let's reflect on the surname Wilson. If you carry this name, it can be a powerful reminder of your inner capacity for willpower. What are the mountains in your life that you need to climb? Is it overcoming a bad habit, dealing with difficult relationships, or finding the discipline to meditate regularly? Whatever it may be, remember that your will is the key to conquering it. In Buddhism, we often speak of the mind as a garden. It must be tended with care. Just as a gardener uses patience and effort to grow strong, healthy plants, we must apply our willpower consistently to uproot the weeds of negative thoughts and habits. The Buddha himself taught that determination, adhitthana, is one of the essential qualities on the path to enlightenment. He encouraged his followers to develop strong resolve, saying, "As solid as a rock, unshaken by the wind, so are the wise, unshaken by blame or by praise." This doesn't mean we should become rigid or stubborn, but rather that we develop an inner strength that helps us stay focused even when life pulls us in different directions. Ask yourself, how can you strengthen your willpower in your daily practice? What distractions or doubts tend to pull you off course? And how can you gently but firmly bring your mind back to what truly matters? The key lies in developing small daily habits that reinforce your intentions. Like the monk climbing his mountain, your progress might seem slow at first, but each step brings you closer to your goal. The lesson here is clear. Whether you carry the name Wilson or not, the strength of your will has the potential to change your life. With patience, practice, and determination, you can break free from negative patterns, cultivate mindfulness, and move toward greater peace and clarity. Let the power of your will be your guide, and remember that true strength comes not from force, but from steady, mindful effort. 12. More. Embracing life's changes for growth. The surname More is one that holds deep significance, especially when viewed through the lens of Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, one of the most important principles is that of impermanence, the idea that all things in life are constantly changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Our circumstances, our feelings, even the world around us are in a state of continuous transformation. For those who bear the name More, it can serve as a powerful reminder of this very teaching. Think of how often in life we resist change, clinging to what is comfortable or familiar, even when it no longer serves us. Yet, as the Buddha once said, nothing is forever except change. By understanding and embracing this truth, we open ourselves up to incredible growth and transformation. How often do you find yourself struggling with change? Perhaps it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth. The surname More can symbolize the wisdom of flowing with life's changes rather than resisting them. Imagine being someone who sees every challenge not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to evolve. Isn't it more freeing to adapt to life's currents instead of battling against them? Just as rivers flow and carve new paths, we too are constantly shaping and reshaping ourselves in response to life's shifting tides. The name More invites us to look at life as a series of continuous lessons. Each change is a teacher, and every moment, whether joyful or challenging, is an opportunity to grow closer to our truest selves. What would happen if you started to see each change in your life as part of a natural and necessary process of growth? This is where the true power of adaptability comes in. In Buddhist philosophy, adaptability is key to reducing suffering. When we cling to the illusion of permanence, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment because nothing can stay the same forever. The root of suffering is attachment, said the Buddha, pointing us toward a life where we can let go of rigid expectations. With the name More echoing transformation, it offers a reminder that you are capable of evolving with life's changes rather than fearing them. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're at a crossroads and unsure of which way to go? The name More symbolizes that moment of transformation, that point where the old you makes way for the new. It's a name that invites introspection. How do you handle transitions in your life? Do you welcome them as opportunities for self-growth, or do you resist and hold on to what feels safe? Remember, it's in those moments of discomfort that we find the greatest opportunities for self-realization. Buddha also taught, you only lose what you cling to. By learning to release our grasp on things that no longer serve us, we create space for new growth, new experiences, and a deeper sense of peace. What if you could embrace each new phase of your life with the same energy and excitement you had as a child, when everything was fresh and full of possibility? More is a name that embodies the spirit of this openness to change. just as the seasons shift, bringing new life in the spring after the stillness of winter, so too do we go through our own seasons of transformation. Are you allowing yourself to bloom fully in the season of your life you're in now? Think about the last time you let go of something or someone that was holding you back. How did that feel? Difficult perhaps, but ultimately liberating. That's the essence of More as a name. It's not just a name, it's a call to action, urging you to step forward into the future without fear, embracing each new chapter with grace and confidence. So, the next time you hear or think of the name More, let it serve as a personal reminder that life is an ever-changing journey. Each of us has the capacity to grow and transform, to adapt to whatever life brings our way. The name itself is a symbol of life's impermanence and the power we have within us to continually evolve. How will you respond to the changes in your life? Will you resist, or will you accept them as opportunities for personal growth? The choice is yours, and the potential for transformation is limitless. Embrace the change, just as the name More suggests, and you'll find that life has so much more to offer than you ever imagined. 13. Thomas, seeking truth with curiosity and inquiry. The surname Thomas has a rich and timeless significance, often symbolizing curiosity, the desire for truth, and a deep, inquisitive nature. In Buddhism, this drive to seek the truth resonates profoundly with the essence of the spiritual path. The Buddha himself encouraged a deep inquiry into the nature of reality, telling his disciples, "Believe nothing, no matter where you read it or who has said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense." The surname Thomas can serve as a reminder to those who bear it to remain open, curious, and persistent in their quest for understanding. Just as the Buddha advised us to investigate the truth for ourselves, those with this name might be naturally inclined to question, to seek, and to explore deeper meanings in life. Life is full of uncertainties, and in our fast-paced world, it can be easy to accept surface-level explanations. Yet, true wisdom arises when we embrace the deeper questions and continually challenge our assumptions, much like the name Thomas suggests. In modern times, the act of searching for truth can take many forms. Whether through personal experiences, relationships, or even in our careers, the journey of understanding ourselves and the world around us is an ongoing process. For men between the ages of 30 and 65, this period of life often brings an intense reflection on purpose, legacy, and inner fulfillment. The constant pull of responsibilities, from family obligations to work demands, may leave little room for introspection. But those who bear the surname Thomas, or those who are inspired by its meaning, are called to keep the flame of curiosity alive. Just as the Buddha encouraged, the pursuit of truth is not about finding absolute answers, but about walking a path that deepens our insight and enriches our hearts. When we look at the challenges of modern life, whether they be stress, uncertainty about the future, or a longing for greater meaning, the spirit of Thomas reminds us to not shy away from seeking clarity. A famous Zen saying states, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." This highlights the idea that wisdom comes to those who are prepared to search for it. In a world filled with distractions and noise, the search for truth may seem daunting. However, like the name Thomas, which has endured across centuries, the journey for understanding is one that never grows old. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that truth is not just an abstract concept, but something that is experienced and felt in the present moment. It is through mindfulness, attention, and open-hearted curiosity that we begin to see life as it truly is, not as we imagine it to be. For those bearing the surname Thomas or inspired by its meaning, it's essential to remember that curiosity is a vital tool in navigating the complexities of life. Curiosity drives innovation, personal growth, and the courage to confront difficult truths. And in doing so, we open ourselves to new perspectives that can transform our lives. Consider this. As you go about your daily life, whether you're making decisions at work, engaging with loved ones, or simply reflecting on your personal goals, let the name Thomas inspire you to seek a deeper understanding. Just as Buddha's teachings emphasize wisdom through practice, the name Thomas encourages you to remain ever in search, learning from each experience. Each challenge is an opportunity for growth, and each question, no matter how small, can lead to greater wisdom. In the end, the search for truth is not just about discovering what lies outside of us, but also about uncovering the truth within. As the Buddha wisely said, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Whether through the lens of Buddhist teachings or the symbolism of the name Thomas, we are reminded that the pursuit of truth is timeless, noble, and transformative. So, as you move forward in life, embrace curiosity, remain open to learning, and practice wisdom in every step, knowing that the search for truth, like the name Thomas, is a journey that enriches the soul and brings lasting peace. By staying with us, you're already opening yourself to the life-changing energy of these fortunate last names. Comment "Fortune awaits" if you're ready to welcome these powerful blessings into your life. Keep watching to discover how these names can truly reshape your path this month. 14. Jackson. Leadership with responsibility and compassion. Let's take a moment to reflect on the last name, Jackson, a name deeply associated with strength, leadership, and responsibility. In our modern world, last names often carry with them legacies and histories that shape our identity, and Jackson is no exception. When you hear this last name, perhaps you think of someone who embodies authority, someone you can trust to take charge, to make tough decisions, and to lead others with clarity and purpose. But from a Buddhist perspective, this last name offers even deeper significance. In Buddhism, strength and leadership are not simply about power or dominance. They're about responsibility, humility, and compassion. True leadership, as the Buddha taught, comes from serving others. It's about guiding those around you with wisdom and helping them find their own path to enlightenment. Think about how a leader, like Jackson, can inspire others not through force, but through setting a moral example. The Buddha once said, "If a man going down into a river, swollen and swiftly flowing, is carried away by the current, how can he help others across?" This reminds us that to lead effectively, we must first cultivate our own inner peace and understanding. Only then can we extend that strength outward to guide others. Jackson, as a last name that symbolizes leadership, also symbolizes the responsibility to uplift others, to offer them the same opportunities for growth and spiritual development that we ourselves are seeking. Just as the Buddha's teachings guide us towards self-realization, the last name Jackson signifies a guide who leads others with a deep sense of moral duty and ethical conduct. Have you ever considered the impact a last name might have on your life? Could carrying a last name like Jackson influence the way you approach your own responsibilities? Perhaps it could remind you to lead with mindfulness, to take each step with awareness, knowing that your actions influence those around you. In Buddhist teachings, there is a strong emphasis on interdependence, the idea that we are all connected, that our actions have a ripple effect across the lives of others. Jackson, as a last name tied to leadership, invites you to think about your own role in this interconnected web of life. How do you influence those around you? Are you a force for good, for kindness, for wisdom? The Buddha also taught that the way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. This profound insight reminds us that true leadership and strength come not from external achievements or titles, but from the inner work we do on ourselves. A last name like Jackson can be seen as a call to constantly reflect on our own actions, to ask ourselves whether we are walking the path of righteousness, compassion, and understanding. Leadership, after all, begins with leading ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, our responses to the challenges we face. By taking responsibility for our own lives, we naturally become leaders in our communities, inspiring others to follow the path of peace and wisdom. Now, consider your own life. Are there opportunities where you can step into a leadership role, where you can be a source of guidance and support for those around you? Whether it's in your family, your workplace, or your community, leadership isn't just about having a title or authority. It's about how you show up in the world. It's about how you embody compassion, patience, and wisdom. Like the last name Jackson suggests, leadership is a responsibility, a chance to help others grow and flourish. What kind of leader do you want to be? How can you guide others with the same care and wisdom that the Buddha spoke of? In the end, it's not about the last name itself, but the qualities it represents. Jackson, as a symbol of leadership, challenges us to rise to the occasion, to be the best versions of ourselves, and to guide others along their spiritual journeys with kindness and clarity. What kind of impact do you want to leave in this world? How will you use your strengths to serve others and bring more light into their lives? As the Buddha taught, a generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. So, as you reflect on the power of a last name like Jackson, think about how you can lead with your heart, how you can inspire others, and how you can make a positive difference in the lives of those around you. 15. White, purity of mind and inner clarity. The surname White carries a powerful symbolism, often representing purity, clarity, and a mind free of distraction. In Buddhist teachings, this purity of mind is not just a concept, but a path toward enlightenment. As the Buddha once said, "A disciplined mind brings happiness." With a clear mind, free from defilements like desire, attachment, and anger, we open the door to inner peace and deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The name White, in this context, serves as a beautiful reminder to continually strive for that clarity in our thoughts and actions. Have you ever noticed how much lighter you feel when your mind is free of clutter and negativity? It's a feeling of immense peace, much like the clear sky after a storm. In Buddhism, the idea of purifying the mind is a lifelong practice, a continuous effort to release ourselves from the bonds of suffering caused by negative emotions and unwholesome thoughts. When we are able to do this, even for a brief moment, we experience what is often referred to as nirvana, or the ultimate state of liberation. Consider this. How often do you let small irritations, frustrations, or desires cloud your mind and rob you of peace? The teachings of Buddhism encourage us to reflect on the nature of these emotions and ask ourselves if they truly serve us. What if you could let go of these burdens and find clarity, like a mind washed clean of all impurities? The surname White, then, can act as a subtle reminder of this important practice, to keep our minds clear and pure, much like still water, reflecting our true nature back to us. How might your life change if you actively sought to purify your thoughts, even just a little, each day? 16. Harris, strength and responsibility in the face of adversity. The surname Harris symbolizes strength and responsibility, traits that resonate deeply with the core teachings of Buddhism. In the context of Buddhist philosophy, true strength is not merely defined by physical prowess, but by the inner resilience that allows one to overcome life's challenges with wisdom and compassion. Just as a tree withstands strong winds with deep roots, we too must cultivate mental fortitude to navigate the storms of life. The name Harris serves as a reminder to live with purpose, bearing the responsibility of not just improving ourselves, but also uplifting those around us. Buddhism teaches that the greatest strength comes from understanding and alleviating the suffering of others. As the Buddha once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." In modern life, where the pressures of work, family, and personal obligations can feel overwhelming, this concept of inner strength is more relevant than ever. Men in their 30s to 60s often find themselves at a crossroads, balancing the demands of career advancement, relationships, and self-fulfillment. Here, the lesson of responsibility comes into play, being responsible not only for your own well-being, but also for contributing positively to your community and the world at large. The name Harris could inspire a man to reflect on how he uses his mental strength. Is it to dominate others, or to be a source of kindness, stability, and wisdom for those around him? The Buddha emphasized the importance of right action and right intention, reminding us that a responsible life is one lived with mindfulness and compassion. In today's fast-paced world, staying grounded in these values can help us create more meaningful connections and lead a life that reflects not just personal success, but also shared prosperity. So, if you bear the name Harris, let it be a call to embrace both strength and responsibility in a way that aligns with these timeless teachings, guiding you toward a life of balance, service, and inner peace. Thank you for joining us in today's video. Before we dive into the next part, I'd like to take a moment to express my deep gratitude for your presence here. It's truly an honor to have you as part of our community. If today's video resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. Feel free to share your story in the comments. If you're new here, simply comment, "I am open to change," to let us know you're starting this journey with us. And if you've been with us for a while, comment, "I embrace growth," to show your continued commitment. Your engagement not only lights up our community, but also fuels the inspiration behind these teachings. Now let's continue this path together, shall we? 17. Robinson, steadfastness and independence on your journey. The surname Robinson is a powerful symbol of steadfastness and independence, qualities that resonate deeply with the teachings of Buddhism. In the practice of Buddhism, steadfastness, remaining true to your path and maintaining consistency in your actions, is essential to progress toward enlightenment. When we think about independence, we must understand it as more than just the ability to stand on our own. It's about cultivating self-reliance in our spiritual journey, which is necessary to achieve true understanding. If you carry the name Robinson, let it serve as a reminder to stay strong in your journey, even when obstacles arise, and to trust your own wisdom. A great story from the Buddha's life can offer further insight. When the Buddha was meditating under the Bodhi tree, Mara, the tempter, sent doubts, distractions, and even fear to shake his focus. Yet, the Buddha remained steadfast, grounded in his pursuit of truth. Eventually, through unwavering determination and independence in his practice, he attained enlightenment. This reminds us that, much like the Buddha's encounter with Mara, life throws us distractions, fears, and doubts. Are you prepared to remain steadfast in your own path, even when faced with life's greatest challenges? The name Robinson can inspire you to do just that, reminding you to trust your inner strength and the wisdom you've gained through experience. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are constant and the pressures of life can pull us in many directions, it's more important than ever to stay grounded. Reflect for a moment. Are you staying committed to your values and beliefs even when it's difficult? The lesson here is clear. Independence and steadfastness are the keys to walking your path with clarity and purpose. So, if you carry the name Robinson, let it remind you to stay committed to your spiritual journey, facing each challenge with the same unshakable determination the Buddha demonstrated under the Bodhi tree. By doing so, you can create a life filled with wisdom, peace, and fulfillment. 18. Martinez, cultivating inner energy for transformation. 18 on our list is the surname Martinez. This name carries with it a sense of vitality and energy, qualities deeply aligned with Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, energy, often referred to as right effort, is one of the essential factors on the path toward enlightenment. The Buddha taught that without sustained effort, we cannot make progress, just as a flame requires fuel to keep burning. When you carry a name like Martinez, think of it as a reminder to cultivate this inner energy in your life. What does energy mean to you? It's not just about physical strength, but about the mental and spiritual drive that pushes you toward your goals. In Buddhism, right effort encourages us to abandon negative states of mind, like laziness or apathy, and replace them with positive, wholesome ones. The famous words of the Buddha, "A jug fills drop by drop," remind us that consistent effort, no matter how small, leads to great change. Every action you take, every bit of energy you use wisely, moves you closer to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. How can you apply right effort in your daily routine? Whether it's through mindfulness, compassion, or simply focusing on what is good and true, carrying the spirit of the name Martinez can symbolize your determination to move forward on your path. When you face challenges, reflect on whether you are putting forth enough effort to rise above them. Just like the constant flow of a river that shapes rocks over time, your effort has the power to reshape your life. What small change can you make today that will ripple into lasting transformation? Keep in mind that the energy you invest in your journey doesn't just benefit you, it radiates outwards, helping those around you and contributing to the greater good of society. How will you choose to use your energy today? 19. Garcia, courage and perseverance in life's challenges. Garcia is a surname that resonates with qualities of courage and perseverance, two attributes that are deeply valued in Buddhist teachings. Just as the journey to enlightenment is long and requires steady effort, bearing the name Garcia can be a reminder to cultivate these qualities in your own life. In Buddhism, perseverance is essential, not only in spiritual practice, but in how we face life's inevitable challenges. Courage, too, plays a significant role in our lives, whether in confronting personal fears, embracing change, or pursuing inner peace despite external chaos. In modern life, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, whether it's a setback at work, a relationship issue, or a personal goal that feels out of reach. But like the teachings of Buddhism remind us, true courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. The name Garcia, then, can serve as a symbol of this inner strength. It invites you to persist in the face of difficulty, to remain steadfast on your spiritual journey, and to remember that the greatest transformations often come after the most challenging experiences. When you persevere, you allow yourself to grow, to learn, and to connect more deeply with your true nature, which is something we can all aspire to, regardless of our name. Let this be a reminder that your own courage and persistence, much like the qualities symbolized by Garcia, are the keys to a more peaceful and fulfilled life. 20. Martin. Compassion as a path to transformation. The surname Martin carries a sense of calmness and kindness, qualities deeply aligned with Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, compassion is not merely an abstract idea, it's a way of life, a practice that is meant to be applied in every moment of our existence. For those with the name Martin, let this be a reminder that compassion is not only a sentiment, but an ongoing action. In our daily lives, how often do we go beyond just feeling for others and truly help them? This speaks to the limitless nature of kindness and compassion. The more we give, the more we spread. A great example of this is found in the story of Angulimala, a bandit who was infamous for his cruelty. But when he encountered Buddha, his life transformed through compassion and forgiveness. Instead of treating Angulimala as a villain beyond redemption, the Buddha extended love and understanding, leading to his complete change of heart. This transformation teaches us that even the harshest of individuals can be touched by compassion and find a new path. So, if you carry the name Martin, or know someone who does, reflect on this. How can you bring compassion into your daily life, not only as a feeling, but as a tangible act of service and kindness? How can you be that candle that lights others without ever running out of warmth? Whether it's lending a helping hand to a friend or showing patience and love in challenging situations, compassion should be a practice. The lesson here is simple. Compassion is not a finite resource. It's something we can cultivate endlessly. By living with kindness and a generous heart, we not only change our lives, but also have the power to uplift others, making the world a better place one small act at a time. The question remains, what small act of compassion can you offer today that will ripple into something greater? Thank you so much for joining us today on the Journey of Wisdom. I hope this exploration of 20 lucky last names and their deep-rooted connections to Buddhist teachings has sparked inspiration and insight into how you can transform your life this month. Remember, these names are more than just labels. They represent timeless wisdom and the potential for positive change in your life. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got more enlightening content coming your way soon, and I can't wait to share it with you. Until next time, stay mindful, stay compassionate, and may you walk your path with wisdom and peace.